Good evening and welcome. My name is Ugbebo Ikekwa and this is Political Showcase. Today on this edition of Political Showcase, we will be looking at the upcoming Edo State elections. Edo State gubernatorial elections, and I have with me in the studio Dr. Emmanuel Egariba. You're welcome to the studio.
Yes, a great moment. We're looking ahead. We're beginning to count days already to September 21st, and I think by all standards, this is going to be an election in a million.
Yeah, talking about an election in a million. From what you've seen so far, what is the level of preparedness on the part of the INEC?
Well, so far so good. They have told us in clear terms that they are fully prepared. We have assurances from the chairman that the election is not going to be shifted, that we are going to go ahead with the election in spite of the fuel crisis, and that the combatants should just be ready for the election, that they themselves are ready, in spite of the fact that the office was touched some times ago. So we have those wonderful assurances from the INEC chairman. But besides that, I guess they have also put everything in place as far as their own staff are concerned. We are also assured that there will be no glitches, that results are going to be uploaded, sent to the server, meaning that it will be real time. So I'm sure that the political parties are quite satisfied with these assurances.
And so looking at the past, where we've had such issues as ballot box snatching, it's a reoccurrence. It occurs almost all the time in every election that we hold across Nigeria. Do you think that there will be a difference with this upcoming Edo State election?
There should be. This is an election. It's an off-cycle election, if you remember, meaning that the entire country will have its eyes on this election in Edo State. It's not a regular election, okay? So the whole world actually, because it's a global village, people in the diaspora will be watching out for this, and I'm sure that it will come off well based on the assurances that have been given by INEC. But a lot also depends on the people in combat, political combat, so to speak. The gladiators, the candidates, should do well to enlighten their followers as per the need to maintain peace. There should be no thuggery. There should be no arson. We've seen images of facilities burnt down and all of that. We're not praying for that. Yes, the image is there on the screen. We don't pray for this kind of thing. There should be no ballot box snatching, and there should be no falsification of results. These are the sore points in any electoral process. But Edo State is a game changer. Sorry. Well, this station is also a game changer. So, but that's what it is. Edo State is the heartbeat of the nation. What happens here reverberates across the country. So the whole country is looking at us, and we must play according to the rules. Both the umpire and the political, the candidates of the various political parties. Okay? No room for thuggery. I mean, it's not war. We are not in a situation of war. Somebody who loses today can win tomorrow. Okay? That should be ingrained in their psyche. And I think it's important. I mean, look at people holding cudgels, machetes, and all sort of things. This is not called for. Absolutely uncalled for. And it's not acceptable by any standard.
Yes. And is it not based on these happenings that keep occurring? Is that not why you think that the military is always invited? Because so many people have come out to say that they are not in support of the military always being around the polls when there are elections. Are you of the same view too?
Yes, I'm one of those people. I've said it repeatedly on this station, that we don't need to militarize. Because actually, election is fun. It's like a typical holiday when you enjoy yourself. You're looking forward to who is going to win and all of that. And at the end of the day, I look forward to a day when both the winner and the loser, or the losers in this case, because there will be one winner and many losers, okay? They should stretch their hands across the divide for handshakes, okay? What does that mean? It means there will be amity, there will be friendship, there will be no rancor, there will be no bitterness, right? So I look forward to that. And if that be the case, then why do we have the military? But our experiences in this country have shown very clearly that the military is called in because the authorities are not sure of what will happen. But that also depends on political education on the part of INEC and enlightenment on the part of the political parties. Just as the electoral body, umpire, has a duty, the parties also have a duty to put their followers in check, right? Particularly youths. Elderly people do not break the rules. I mean, by way of creating mayhem and all of that. It's the young people, and they are used mainly by the political parties. So I pray that this time around there will be nothing like mayhem. There will be nothing like arson or thuggery or ballot box snatching, and the worst of all, falsification of results. Okay? There should be no room for that at all. I mean, the best candidate should win. I mean, that's my prayer, and I think that's the prayer of every well-meaning Edo person. Edo State is a very unique state. I mean, I was in government, the government of Chief Odige Oyegu. At that time, people could eat together, people of different political parties. I don't think that's what is happening now. There's so much bitterness, so much bickering, and it's not called for. This is the same tendency they carry onto the field, to the battlefield, all right? And it's not right. So I believe that this can be a pleasure of an election. Yeah, it can be a really big pleasure of an election. Let us have an election that is rancor-free, in which you don't have bitterness. That is my message, and it's my gospel.
Talking about bitterness, we've seen in these present elections, especially we've seen in other elections, though that was what even led to the issue of hate speeches and all that. But now we've seen it being taken to another level in Edo State, where political party leaders do no longer come out. Even the key players no longer come out to talk about a manifesto. No, but it's talking unprintable words. Is there a legal attitude, or rather, can there be a legal action that could be taken against any political actor who eats below the belt?
Well, the law has to be strengthened to checkmate all those things, those negative tendencies. I mean, people should discuss issues, not personal issues. They should discuss issues of infrastructure, issues of empowerment for women and youths, issues of clear-cut development for civil service, for instance, issues of sports. This is a sport-loving state, for example. And we can also talk about issues of security, mainly, right? And we must hold the people to account, okay? Not coming out in the open to speak on unprintable words. That's it's against the rule of decency, by the way. And I think that for the future, law should be in place to checkmate all those negative tendencies. It's bad politics, it brings bad blood, and it endures almost forever. But it's not acceptable, not by our own standards alone, but also by traditional inclinations, all right? We are traditional people. We should not use certain things, to put people down. It's against our traditions and norms in this part of the country.
And so let us now look down to inducement. Some people will say, this one when I see today, make I collect inducement. Most of the time happens at the polling centers in almost every election. And so why does this trend keep happening? There is no stop to it.
Again, it depends on the political parties. If you are not ready, that's where you induce. Okay, if you are not ready for an election, it is the weaker political party that induces. You understand? Okay. And I think on the other hand, the security agents too must be up on their game. These things are done. They are done under the watch of security agents, and they just throw their eyes away, which doesn't make sense to me, really. Okay? In the open, they do it. In fact, with impunity. With impunity, they do it. And it's against the law. I mean, the Electoral Act clearly states that. Okay? So, but we must try as much as possible to do things within normalcy. We need to heed the advice of our statesmen who have been talking on this for so long. And obviously, I believe that these things can change. It's an attitudinal change that we require for election to be meaningful. Yes, it depends a lot on our attitudes. Our attitudes to election must be such that everybody will make thuggery, for instance, an abomination. will make arson an abomination. Nobody should talk about changing figures. Because if you do, you are shortchanging the people who voted validly. Okay? And people talk about adult suffrage. What that means is that the destiny, you are toying with the destiny of about 3 million people in those states. And don't forget that the chief executive who will be chosen that day is going to oversee the destiny of about 3 million people. Everything is on his hands. Everything stops at his table. That's why, for instance, he can grant amnesty. Right. Is that important? That is why the governor signs with red. Yes, nothing must stop it. So I'm looking at a position in a situation where normalcy will prevail.
Okay.
Decency will prevail.
Okay.
And the reason will also prevail.
Okay. The tendency of the electorate having to wait, much as INEC has said, okay, the results will be uploaded electronically, but we've seen in past elections where the electorate will say no, they will stay there and wait until the results are counted manually, and then wherever it can go to, yes, but they have their own personal results, as the case may be. Are you in support of this trend? Should it be encouraged?
It's a beautiful thing, but it's just that there's a betrayal of trust. If you don't trust the electoral umpire, that's when this kind of thing happens. If you trust the umpire, yes, why not? I mean, you go, I mean, that's the picture we are saying there, the counting, I guess. People, well, all right, they can wait to see that their votes have been counted. Votes must count. In fact, it's a sing-song now of most of the parties. Look at it again. Votes are being counted in the open, and there's a security agent there who is watching very keenly. So I believe that, yes, as long as there's no violence, you keep a certain distance from where the ballot box is placed. As long as there's no violence, yes, why not? It's a thing of joy to see that your particular candidate has won in your ward. It does not mean that it will win in other wards, but you localize it. And I have seen situations where people in a particular polling station, their candidate wins, and they start running back home, they are jubilating, even before the final result comes. That's the beauty of democracy.
All right.
But yes, the results will be uploaded. We have been assured by the INEC chairman that there will be no glitches. These are some of the sub points in the last election back in 2023. And I don't think that there will be a repeat. Because, as a matter of fact, this election is isolated. Ondo State is coming around the corner. But the whole country will have its eyes on this election.
All right.
And they will determine whether we'll get it right or not.
Talking about getting it right or wrong, are you of the opinion, because there are some schools of thought who believe that he who pays the piper dictates the tune? And so at the end of the day, should the position of the INEC chairman be elective or selective?
No, not selective, no, appointive.
Appointive, as the case may be, yes.
Yes, it should not be an appointee of the government in power. People are against that. Legally it's even wrong. Morally it's wrong. For example, I believe that, yes, it's not akin only to INEC chairman, even the Chief Justice or the Federation. Because these are very strong institutions and we must not enfeeble these institutions. They are strong institutions and we must make them so. Particularly the Electoral Commission. Don't forget, what's the acronym INEC? The first letter there stands for independent. So it must be totally independent of the executive arm, the legislative arm, and also the judicial arm. It should stand on its own. So whoever is going to be chairman, there should be an aggregate of people. For instance, people of very high moral value, retired justices, seasoned vice chancellors who are retired, statesmen, elder statesmen who will come together and choose which is going to be the INEC chairman. People who are apolitical, who have no political inclinations, but who mean well for this country, and they are bound in this country. We know them, they can be put on board. All right?
All right.
Because the INEC chairman should have his loyalty not to the president, but to the Constitution, according to his conscience, to the Constitution of the Federal Republic. That's where things thrive. I mean, when you have this kind of proclivity, things thrive better. Not your loyalty should not be to the president, but loyalty should be to the Constitution and to the people of this country. Yes, that's the norm anywhere in the world, everywhere in the world.
All right, talking about that, there are always offenses, whether you like it or not, during elections. Are you in support of having special courts during elections? Are you in support of that kind of?
Yes, apparently you have preempted me because I would have said it.
Okay.
That one of the ways to mitigate all these things is to have special courts, and a lot of legal luminaries have spoken about this. We need to have special courts to serve as a deterrent to people who do. In any case, they do these things with impunity. That nothing can happen.
Nothing can happen.
But I would be happy if, for example, Mr. A is the governor, Mr. B is the president of the entire country, and when members of his own party misbehave, they go in. Yes. He should keep a blind eye to offenses that even emanate from his own party members. That's when I will be happier, and a lot of Nigerians will be happier, for instance. So, special courts, and these offenses should be treated like strict liability offenses, like most traffic offenses. I mean, for instance, if you are caught with a ballot box, I don't know if, Jane, please, can you repeat that shot again, the one with the ballot box? Yes. The fellow who carted away the ballot box, look at him.
Yeah.
Look at him. He's carrying away the ballot box. That ballot box is not for him. It's the property of INEC. So if he's caught in a situation such as this, he goes in because he doesn't need any evidence. It's self-evidence. That kind of offense is critical. It is damaging to our psyche, and so you should go in for it. People who commit arson, for instance, people who vandalize. Can we have a picture of vandalization of electoral materials?
Yes, definitely.
Look at it now. That's a polling station. They just vandalize because apparently they know that their party is not going to win. But why must you do that? Because these papers are, well, first of all, they are properties of INEC, so you have no right to do that. And secondly, it is the mandate of the people that you are destroying. It is their will that you are destroying. It is even their future that you are destroying. And they do it with impunity. Look at it. Look at the picture. It speaks volumes. That's what has been happening all over the country. But I think that in Edo State, we must put a stop to this. There should be no, things like this are aching to our sight. And a lot of well-meaning people will feel bad when they see things like this. And it shouldn't happen in Edo State, particularly in this coming election.
Okay, let us go back to this issue about bad blood between the contenders. Do you think that there's any legal action that could be taken, or is it a personal thing? Does it have to do with sensitization? We've seen it go on and on, this issue of bad blood between candidates.
Election is a sweet thing. It's very sweet. It's a pleasure. Okay? That's why outside this country, it's almost like a holiday. Election day is almost like a holiday. You feel good, you feel free. You are happy to go to the polling station. There's a picture there of people who are lining up. I hope you can see it.
Okay, yes, smiling.
Beautiful,
I think we have,
beautiful picture. They are happy. They raise up their card or whatever it is. And they are happy. They want to vote for a candidate of their choice. That's the kind of thing we'll expect in this election. People should go there on their free will. They should vote according to their conscience, not according to their whims and caprices, not according to influences from outside, and certainly not according to inducement. I hear people say, oh no, we'll take their money but we'll not vote. Why must we even take their money at all? Why? It's just like saying, oh, the devil, to dine with the devil, you need a long spoon. Why must we even dine with the devil in the first place? You are saying you want to dine, you are still dining with the devil, or you are saying there with a long spoon. Okay? You must not dine with the devil at all. They say, it's a wrong approach. Oh, we'll take the money. Why must we take the money? And besides, how much are they giving? 1,000, 2,000. Would that change your fortune? Would that change your lifestyle? 2,000, 3,000? It is demeaning, to say the least. And it's a function of poverty. And I hope that this program we are doing now will send signals to a lot of electorate. They should not take money, no inducement.
It definitely has
they should not take money. Why must we take money?
Yes, it definitely, that issue, because it is a very sensitive question I'm going to throw to you. In the course of this happening, the security forces are there, and they're supposed to be against this.
Some of them are also induced.
Okay.
To keep their eyes away. I've seen it. People have seen it. Okay? But I think that, particularly the police, the police high command must ensure that the police officers they send to all these places are taken care of. To the extent that some of them get hungry. Okay? Nothing to feed. So they are very vulnerable.
Okay.
They become vulnerable. All right? Anybody can now approach them to give them things, and they turn their eyes away. But the police, in fact, you remember in the same country a few years ago, policemen were complaining of the allowances they were not given them. I mean, these are issues that we all know of. So I'm pleading with the police authorities to cater for their representatives. Once you do that, they will do their duties very, very well, without looking back, without relying on inducement. I want to plead also with the political parties. The money you use to induce, save it to carry out what do you call it? Development. Yes, to carry out development when you win.
Okay, well, let us veer still back again to INEC. This issue of ad hoc staff. What's your take on it?
I've never supported. What's the meaning of ad hoc? It means that it's a fire brigade attitude anyway. My belief is that, and most things that we do in this country, we approach things in the fire brigade ambience. Look, the election in Edo State is going to finish on the 22nd. The results will be out, possibly, maybe on the 23rd, the results will be out. Immediately a week after, preparation should start. We're in what year now? 2024. The next election is 2028. We think it's a long time. It's not. Let them train their own staff. They now use ad hoc staff, youth corps members and all of that. And some of them, unfortunately, have been killed in the process through violence. May their souls continue to rest in peace. I'm sorry for the parents, the guardians. It's a bad sport on our national life. So ad hoc staff are out of the question. Let them. There are people who are waiting to be employed. Why can't INEC employ people who are permanent staff? Yes, in their legions. Let them employ staff rather than this ad hoc thing. Ad hoc means that you are just patching things together at the last minute. It's against certain attitudes. So I believe that INEC must play according to the rules. They must do things that will make people to applaud them. Yes, I look forward to a time when election results no longer end in the law court.
Okay.
Yes, I really, really look forward to that. When at the end of the day, the winner stretches out his hands, and across the divide, they have handshakes. After that, they go for some drinks, some pepper soup somewhere and all of that. And they drink. They throw very soft banters.
Yeah.
That's what I expect, not acrimony. Why must the courts be involved? The courts should be, they have a lot on their hands already, yes, to deal with. Because there are cases in court that last up to maybe 5, 6, 7 years or more.
Yeah.
Then you now add the electoral cases to it. You want to kill the judges? So please, I'm saying this from the bottom of my heart. Let us have elections that can end on election day.
On election day.
Yes,
okay.
Rather than go to court. Some people even say, because they glory in it, because they know that they have done some very terrible things, and they tell you, go to court. In advanced countries, you cannot say that. Because once you say that, it means you have secretly shortchanged the system. That's why I'm saying they cannot even voice it. But in this country, we shout it to rooftop. You can go to court.
Well,
yes.
It's just 11 days to the elections in Edo State. Well, 11 days to the elections. What will be your parting shot just for this program? And viewers out there, just for your notice, this is going to be a continuous thing. Political platform is going to continue until the 21st. In fact, on this program, Political Platform, we'll be giving you clips from all the polling centers that our correspondents will be linked to. So put that down. Take note of that. We are going to be fully here on this program, Political Showcase, on the day of elections to give you all you need to know as an update. But then, going back to what we were talking about, sir, what will be your fight, or rather your words, to the electorate this time? In subsequent issues, you have your words for the candidates and the INEC. But on this program now, what will be your words?
I think I would rather talk about the candidates, because they have a way of directing the psyche of their followers and party members. Yes, because usually you find they are the leaders of these political parties. I believe that within this period, they should come out and speak, not just to the general electorate, but to their followers, okay? Particularly the youths. It is the youth that people use to perpetrate all kinds of mayhem. And guess what? Once the candidate says, no, count me out of violence, the people will listen to him, his followers particularly. They say, our leader, that's what they say. Our leader has spoken, please, so let's maintain peace and order. They will do that. But it must be said with deep conviction. Yes, they should not just mouth it. You have television stations, you have radio stations, you have newspapers, you press releases and things like that, telling your followers that they should not go on the way of mayhem, because it won't pay anybody. I mean, if, for instance, God forbid there's mayhem in the state, nobody will be happy about that. It will stifle a lot of things. It will stifle development. Okay? So, but that is what it is. All of them, regardless of whether you are party A, party B, or party C. And another thing which you probably didn't think of is this whole idea of having a multitude of political parties. Yes, before the election. I mean, that's a process, though. The smaller parties can dissolve into the bigger ones with the same ideology. Okay. What's the point of having... You will see on that day, some political parties will score 10. Will score 15. What's the point? It doesn't add up. Why don't you merge and form a coalition with the bigger parties? Why should we even have more than 4 political parties anyway?
Well,
yes.
Coming from
that's open for debate.
Open for debate. Yes. And I wanted to say, coming from the angle of the law now, it is their right to have their political parties registered.
Yes, the law says so that you can, there's a multitude, except they go back now to the Electoral Act. You see, but the point I'm stressing is that even on moral grounds, for example, on the ground of strategy, it doesn't add up. It doesn't add up at all. Rather, I would pray, though it's a constitutional matter, I would pray to have, for this country, to have independent candidates.
We'll be looking forward to that.
I sincerely look forward to that, because it is then you have meaningful candidates.
Okay.
Yes, well-meaning candidates. And it's, well, of course, it's less expensive. Compound yourself, say, look, believe in me, I've paid my dues, these are my track records, vote for me on my own terms. Yes, because the political party structure has failed us on many occasions.
Okay.
Yeah, it has failed us. Maybe we'll reserve that for another time.
Yes, we'll definitely reserve that for another time, because based on that very topic as regards the political party, there's something that we'll be discussing on the same program just before the elections as regards what are these individuals ready to deliver to the populace. Is it the party first or the electorate that should be considered? This is one of the topics that will be coming up on Political Showcase later within the week. And so on this note, I will say thanks so much for being there. Thanks so much for watching. Dr. Igariba, thanks for always having the time to come on the program.
Yes, we are stakeholders. This station is also a stakeholder. It's in Edo State, okay? And we must look forward to a very pleasant moment on the 21st of September.
And so, viewers out there, thanks so much. For those of you who do not yet know how to get to Providence Television or to get to watch our programs on Providence Television, simply go to YouTube, type in Providence Television International, and you are good to go. Like I would always say, don't go away. Please stay tuned, as we have so much more lined up for your viewing pleasure.